Good morning. I think it was the wrong play with Naomi Osaka to get involved before the result of the first set was known. I normally get involved like that because I expect the comeback. And she's been brilliant since the French Open when she gave world number one Iga Swiatek something to think about, and she'd be very, very competitive and combative in the run-up. So I did put a bit of faith in her yesterday. But we got back to the old flaky Osaka, I'm afraid. Real pity. Yes, she's playing a 1.67 favourite, 17th in the world, but she has been brilliant. Remember, she gave the world number one a headache in the French Open. She's been competitive throughout, so it's very disappointing to see an absolute collapse like that. We go all the way back. Beating Daria Kasatkina, for goodness sake, as well. Iga Swiatek, she really made her fight for that battle there. So I expected a bit more from her. Very disappointing. Going to have to look at getting out. So perhaps if I get involved first set and she loses the first set, I should get out and for a loss and reevaluate. That was the only break of serve. And her service games were fairly comfortable afterwards. And she was really battling on that serve. That's why I kept faith with Naomi Osaka. She had those battling qualities. But then second set, no turn up. So disappointing to end like that. But learning all the time. Won't make that mistake again. If you're getting involved hoping for a first set comeback and it doesn't eventuate, get out, reevaluate your position. Maybe get involved if it's a break, a set and a break down for Naomi. At least the liability is kept low. So that's something to remember. Otherwise, some decent enough calls yesterday. I was waiting for Haddad Maia to cock things up, but she didn't in the first set. She looked pretty handy. I would have kept the confidence in her. Elsewhere, again, I was waiting for Linette to win this first set. It was a real battling performance, you can tell up with the second set. So had Magda Linette won that first set, I would have been all over this one because I think it would have been a competitive affair, as indeed it proved. But I'm all about the first set, which again is what I should have done, I suppose, with Naomi Osaka. Wait for the first set to be concluded. Emma Raducanu, well, Elise Mertens has been well advertised. Her two recent retirements. So I don't think Emma Raducanu was gettable. Can we trust Elise Mertens? That is the question. Maria Sakkari, job done. So not much in the ladies' game apart from Naomi Osaka. But she's given me plenty of trades in the past. So it does level out in the end. I shouldn't have taken a full liability loss on this at all. Should have got involved second set. So that's something to stick in a notebook and improve upon. Talking of improvement, look at Tiafoe yesterday. Absolutely superb. More like his 2023 self. Foggy, brilliant trading. You should have greened up. I hope you did. So you can lose, but you can still win. There was a hint that Casper Ruud would get back into it. I thought backing him at 2.64 was very tasty indeed for a 1.2 favourite against again, like Osaka, he can lose it mentally, Fabio Fognini, but he's on a run now. Could this be his time? 2-3-0 wins. But Gomet came out with a green screen. That's what trading is all about. You don't call the final result. You're calling what happens inside it. And if you can call it right, you will be rewarded. We did trust Chris Eubanks, but very, very short odds. I think it was 1.06 or £6 liability, something like that. This was a disappointment for Chris Eubanks after his brilliant Wimbledon last year. But no great harm done. Well done to Nakashima. I was on his side yesterday. Humbert as well. What a pity Van der Zandschulp couldn't nick the first set. We could have had a nice play there. Daniil Medvedev, yet another example to you of a 1.03 lay, 1.02 back, going walkabout. He was available to back at 1.5 odds. What a swing, and what a profit you'd have made. Brilliant performance, particularly the second set when Muller was making him work his bleep off. That's why you got such a big, relative to 1.03, such a big return at 1.5. Alcaraz made to work as well. So these 1.02, 1.03s got to be laid. You're going to get the magic one, like you would with Rublev, eventually. It's really good stuff there. We had some 2-1s, as you can see there, turning into 2-2s. 2-0 to 2-1. So keep that pattern going. That's a 2-1 to 2-2. This one is a 2-1 to 2-2 again. So you can see this consistent pattern. 2-0s to 2-1s, 2-1s to 2-2s. Apart from when they're ultra short priced. But even then, 2-1 to 2-2. So that's a simple method. Struff did lose the first set, and he has been ultra reliable for me. So that would have been a play as well. Slight rain delays yesterday. Yannick Sinner missed the late ones, but he was made to work, as you'd expect with a fellow Italian, Berrettini. On to today. And we've got to pick our entry points a bit better than we did with Osaka yesterday. So I'll remember that. Anyone immediately catch the eye? Well, I've got Daria Kazatkina against Miyazaki. We're still waiting for that to play. Kostyuk against Now Then. I expect her to deliver. Madison Keys, very short price. Could be layable at the off. All of the others I'll investigate as the matches progress. Haddad Meyer, Katie Boulter against Hilary Dart. This could be a fascinating match. Katie Boulter made to work in her first match against Maria. Tiebreaker first set, which she nearly lost. So that's going to be a fascinating fixture. Pegula, I've been following her. Ons Jabeur, expecting to get deep in the competition as she had in recent years. Carolina Garcia, familiar name. Iga Swiatek, world number 1, got to be laid. 1.03, just in case. And Karolina Wozniacki will give Fernandez a game, regardless of her odds today. She has been a real battler, but she did, like Mertens, she has retired recently, which is a slight negative. Hurkacz still retains strong odds on status and tends to deliver, as does old Hitler haircut de Minaur. World number 9 against 63rd in the world. I expect him to deliver today. But again, it's got to be laid at 1.03 at the off, just in case. Grigor Dimitrov already had him starred, and Shapovalov as well. Novak Djokovic not in his finest year. Playing a Brit, could see some surprises. Draper against Norrie could be a 5-setter this. They know each other very well indeed. I wouldn't necessarily take these odds to heart. Taylor Fritz, ever reliable. Thanasi Kokkinakis, mate. Struth, mate. Got through, mate. Yeah, mate. Struth. Thanasi Kokkinakis. Not sure if he's a strong 1.44 favourite against Lucas Pouille. 212th in the world. Is that down to the Harry Kane lookalikes? Recent injuries? No, he hasn't had any recent injuries. So, interesting that Thanasi Kokkinakis is a very strong favourite today. Mapeshi Pericard getting through a number of 7-6 sets again. Tends to be a habit. Is it a habit of Mapeshi Pericard? Korda got out of this one because he had a medical timeout. 7-6, 7-6, 7-6, 7-6. Not the first time he had a 7-6, is it? Because we lost the last time he had a 7-6, 7-6, 7-6, 7-6 against a fellow Frenchman, Janvier. 7-6, 7-6. So this could be a habit of Mapeshi Pericard, which suggests, if it is a habit, those odds are far too short. Rune should get the job done against Seabolt Wild. Quentin Hallis getting rid of Chris Eubanks yesterday. I don't think he'll get Karen Kachanov. I think Kachanov is too good. Rusafori, not a strong player at all. 87th in the world. Stefanos Tsitsipas should have no trouble with him. And Zverev should continue along his merry way. But I've retuned the Yaz trade to 1.05 and lower to keep our liability incredibly short. And think about your exit points. Are you going to go for glory, like Rublev, wait to the death? Or are you going to wait for that 1.5, which is a huge swing in the odds? In the ladies' game, no, that was the ladies' game. Let's have a look at the men's. We've already looked, haven't we, really? Yeah, we've already looked at all that. So I'll be on hand again. It's the Irish football today. Later on, I might not be up for this, I'm afraid. 1:45 a.m. Only one loss away. Only one away loss. Shelburne clearly favoured in a clash against bottom against top. So logic really is with the away side, isn't it? Surely. But head-to-heads have been draws. Galway against Bohemians. It's messy form for Bohemians. They can lose to the bottom two, but beating 4 teams, including today's away. So which Bows turns up? 5th against 8th. 0-2 home loss and a 0-1 away win for Galway in head-to-heads. Sligo against Derry. 7th against 2nd. 0-0 and 2-2 in seasonal head-to-heads. Sligo have failed to score at home against the top 3 and are playing 2nd today. So they look liable if leading. Sligo today. Waterford and St Pat's, 2.63 the favourite, leave this one well alone. Top 6 clash. All bar one of Waterford's defeats came against the top 5. Shamrock Rovers against Dundalk. Dundalk are highly likely to concede. They conceded in the last 11 away matches. 1-1 and a 1-0 defeat for Shamrock in head-to-heads. So Dundalk do keep it tight. Will they keep it tight tonight? The market's not suggesting they will, or suggesting they won't. Irish First Division, Bray against Longford. Bray are highly likely to score. No draw in 7 at home, so you can lay any late draw. Longford are highly likely to concede, so the odds do look right here. Finn Harps against Kerry. Kerry's wins tend to be coming at home, but they've vastly improved on last season, but they couldn't really buy a win. 5 consecutive away defeats, though, for Kerry is a problem. But 0-0 and a 2-0 loss for Finn Harps. Kerry have kept them out this season. Treacy and Co Ramblers, 2.15 the favourite. No clear form lines. UCD and Athlone. Athlone are layable if leading. They have not beaten the top 7 away. They play 2nd today. Wexford against Cork. 1.7 does look big for Cork. Just a 1 defeat all season. But it may factor in the 2-1 head-to-heads that these two have had. Not the most compelling football, I must admit. But there are a couple of angles this evening. If I am up and about, I will follow. But I'm doing a long day of tennis. I don't want to be in front of the computer for 12 hours a day. But I will be doing your tennis from 11 till probably about 5 p.m, 6 p.m, dependent on the rain delays. So we must solve that issue about cashing out with Osaka. I don't want to take my plays into a full loss. There has to be an exit point at some point. So I'm going to have to think about that. We've got clear exit points in the football. It's when a goal's been scored, red cards arrived, first half, second half, that kind of thing. But we don't have that in tennis. It's still a fledgling operation for me. Learning all the time. Hopefully making some key distinctions as well, which is improving the strike rate. And let's have a look at some of the plays yesterday. So this was before the first set was finalised. So I think what I should have done here is cash out for a loss after the first set went to Emma Navarro. That way your liability is very short, and then you can reevaluate once the second set arrives. So that's something which will improve on keeping your liability or the amount lost as little as possible. Danny Evans against Tabillo. Well, this was a last gasp effort with 2 sets down for Danny Evans, a Brit at Wimbledon. I think at this stage he was something like 5-2 down, or even worse. No, it wouldn't have been even worse, would it? Of course, it was something like 5-1, 4-1 or something. But 1.07 liability extremely low, just in case Danny Evans clicks and he didn't on this occasion. Casper Rudd, this is your cash out against Foggy. So despite the fact that Casper Rudd did not win the match, or didn't even win a set, take the green, please. It's a very decent return for the amount risked. Okay, lesson to learn. We are traders. We're looking for odds movements. We're not looking to call the final result. And indeed, that's the case with Osaka. We're looking for odds movements. The odds movement here would have been for Osaka to be competitive in that first set, and then we cash out. So we don't take this to its full term. That's a lesson to learn from yesterday, and it's something I will do today. So that's a good result. Daniil Medvedev again, really made to work hard by Muller. You could have got far, far bigger odds about Medvedev. No, I'm getting this mixed up with Rudd. You could have got huge odds, 5.7 about Casper Rudd at one point as well. Look at the graph there. So we could have made a lot more in the Casper Rudd match. But nice and simple, but made to work. Second set by Alexander Muller, who kept it on serve. That's why we got a decent odd swing. And that's the Casper Rudd Fabio Fognini entry point. And this is my old pal Chris Eubanks, as you can see, right at the end of the third set. Just hoping that he would spark because he had an excellent Wimbledon in 2023. And as I joked, I think it was actually Chris Eubank playing, the ex-boxer. That's the only reason for such a capitulation when the market's expecting a five-setter. But look at the liability. Absolutely nothing to worry about. Billy Harris and Manu, this is from the day before. This is when he was 2 sets down. He won the third set, so I hope you cashed out with that one. So I'll see you throughout the day on Telegram yet again. I might not make the football this evening because I'm putting in a long day for Wimbledon. Lots and lots of excellent players. Let's just tidy up the entry and exit points. That way we can keep the profits going. And any losses, as you can see, that £2.40 in the Quentin Hallis match, that's how I like to keep my losses that low. We like to keep the profits higher. And in some cases, you can let the profits run. I do give you these options at exit when you're doing football. You could have the same story, particularly with Medvedev against Muller. You could have had that same story, particularly given his odds. Relative to Casper Rudd's 1.2, this is 1.02. So you could have been more confident or let this go, having looked at extreme value in Medvedev. He got as high as, I think, 1.6, 1.7, which is huge for a 1.02 shot. So you want to use that as a way to create value backs. That's a method as well. So see you throughout the day for the tennis. Let's make sure we don't make that Osaka mistake again. And if I do get involved in a player before the result of the first set is known, perhaps if it doesn't go my way, I will cash out for a marginal loss in the future, reevaluate in the second set. Did she drop her first service game in the second set, Naomi? Let's have a look. She did. Dropped her first 2 service games. But she's done that in the first round and came back as well. But this is where you get involved. A set and love 3 down. Or even wait for your opponent to confirm her service game. Then you get involved. Because you're talking about a 1.1 lay instead of a full stake back at 2.58. So plenty to think about. I'll be on hand for you today for the tennis. Let's hopefully keep the green screens going. Let's hope the rain stays away as well. And I might join you for the Irish football this evening, but I'm waiting for August the 10th, I think, or the 3rd. It's nearly with us. Is it the 3rd? I think it's the 10th when the championship begins. The SPL's beginning on the 3rd. Belgian Jupiler League beginning on the 3rd. Russian Premier League we can't research anymore. Scottish Championship. So excellent stuff. This is more like it. So it's very near. Norwegian Eliteserien continues. Polish Ekstraklasse is back. Portugal Super Cup is the prelude to the start of the season, so getting very excited. It's only a month away. Then we have the 10th of August. Championship, I think, begins. English League One, English League Two as well, I would suspect. Community Shield, Belgian Julep League, Dutch Eredivisie. Wow, man, this is more like it. You won't know what to do with yourself with so many trades occurring. So you can get through July. Then we will be amply rewarded as the Premier League begins on the 17th with Ipswich against Liverpool. Fantastic start. And the Claret and Blues playing each other at West Ham and Aston Villa. So plenty to look forward to in the first 3 weeks, first 3 Saturdays of August. That's when I really come into my own from a football perspective. So we can tolerate the Irish. There might be an angle or two. Tolerate the Finns, the Norwegians and the Swedes. But this is the football that I crave. Highly readable, familiar names we all know very well. We know it. We know our expectations from these teams. We know they're reliable. We know the players perform. We've even got the DBF Pokal as well. Dortmund playing Phoenix Lübeck, likely to be 1.01 favourite. So looking forward to that first 3 weeks of August. Have a great day today. See you again for more tennis throughout the day on Telegram for footballtrainingprofits.club members.